right, you're on.
Anyway, you don't think you'd have what it takes for the show as far as the upper half is concerned?
I don't think I could salmon ladder. Like, that's the one thing that's stopping me from becoming the Arrow at this point, is I can't salmon ladder. I just don't have the coordination for it. What I really want to see happen on this season, I want the American Ninja Warrior streaker back. That guy almost beat that course naked. Like, I think they should let him do it at this point. If they know he's coming, they can blur it, use the pixels where they need to. Like, that's just good television right there. Like, that guy went far. Far.
Well, I honestly think since the course has been conquered,
Put the streaker guy.
in its own right, I really think this year it's a guy's thing to lose, because the girls over the past few years have gotten a lot stronger, but
Just in general or for the show?
but I don't
A
think
little of both. It's a plot.
the course is predictable
No.
by any means. But what I'd like to see happen is I'd love to see Casey Canzaro come back.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And for those of you who don't know, Casey is the girlfriend of Bryn Stephenson, the first American to ever conquer the ultimate cliffhanger. But 2 years ago, she made history by becoming the first woman to ever conquer both qualifying courses. And that was historic in its own right, because she's 5 feet tall and weighs 100 pounds.
Yeah.
Whoa. So
Yeah, she's wicked tired.
I'd love to see the mighty Casey back.
Yeah, and she had to do like the spider jump and all that. And
Right.
I have
The spider climb. is what they
spider
call it.
climb. Yeah, I have no idea how she stuck that landing. Like, she's not big enough to stick that landing. I've watched like full-grown dudes who couldn't get the extension necessary to hold it up. She's like,
Man,
5 foot, I got this.
that's amazing.
She's nuts. She's gonna be a contender this year.
James,
Absolutely.
has she topped your America's Sweetheart rankings?
She's pretty close. She's in the top 5.
Did she overtake Jennifer Aniston?
Well, who said anything about? Never mind.
Oh no.
But anyway,
I really wanted to hear what you had to say.
He didn't mean it, Jen. He didn't mean it.
no, didn't mean it. Sorry. But anyway, and this will excite you too. Actually, this year, the producers of American Ninja Warrior are trying something new with NBC. The new competition, Spartan Race, which is more of a team competition. It premieres June 13th. And for those of you who don't know, Spartan races are those mud runs where people team up and they have to take on the obstacles time after time. Sort of like military base, but a lot less pressure. So, Kevin, from a contestant's perspective, would you be afraid to get dirty if you were on that kind of show?
Oh no, not at all. Yeah, that's
Not the type of guy Kevin is.
No, absolutely not. I was a big outdoorsy kid, spent a lot of time in the woods, and if you see a mud puddle, then by God, you're jumping in that mud puddle. And I think the Spartan Race has that same kind of appeal. As a full-grown man, there's only so many opportunities you have to just like throw yourself enthusiastically into an awesome pit of mud without like people being judgmental about it.
Yeah, I'm 26 years old and I'd still do that.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm all about it. Like, the muddier the better. Get it on. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that is what's still to come for NBC.
Mhm.
But another interesting thing on a personal level for me is what Fox is doing this year. Because for the first time ever, they're allowing kids to compete on their hit reality show, So You Think You Can Dance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm concerned, but I'm interested in the same right, because I think it'll bring a new dynamic to the show. But at the same time, I don't really think, unless they've been training for years on end, that they're ready for that kind of pressure. Because up until this point, the youngest you could be was 18.
Mm-hmm.
So I have reason to be concerned. I'm not sure what you guys think about this. I mean, if you coming from a parent's perspective, would you let your daughter or your son compete on a show like that with that kind of pressure?
Absolutely. And speaking as a father, because I have 2 kids, and they actually both do gymnastics and cheerleading and that kind of stuff. Like they've done competitions. They've won. They've lost. They take their losses well. They take their victories with humility. And I think that if through good parenting, if you've taught them to be a good sport and to take the constructive criticism well and the destructive criticism with the grain of salt it deserves, that I don't think there's any problem with having them on that stage,
Without question.
I agree with that.
I do have to say though, I've always had trouble finding So You Think You Can Dance accessible as a show, because I have never once thought I could dance. At no point have I ever said to myself, hey, I think I can dance, to where one would be like, so you think you can dance? And I'd be like, no, I don't think I can dance. At weddings, if I have drinks in me, and
then you're
it's
going.
that time, then I'm doing the white man's overbite.
Yeah, I did the worm at the last wedding.
But that's it. That's all I got, I just learned to do the electric slide like a year ago. I do not think I can dance. I don't like it when people watch me nay-nay. Like, I'm willing to whip a nay-nay, but I'd rather they not watch me. Like, stop being so creepy. Watch someone else. Gosh.
Well, it's not about whether or not someone's creepy. It's about having fun.
I get that.
But anyway,
but it's not fun if everyone's laughing at you, is it?
So just so you
That's
fans,
very narcissistic. Why does he want everybody to watch him? It's like, just dance, dude. Dance like no one's
I
watching.
have a very interesting answer
Yeah.
to this question, James.
Go ahead.
All right, go ahead.
I think this is going to sound strange, but I don't know if I would let my kids do it. Just like with everything, it's just I would let my kids participate in sports. But you got to realize it's a small group of people.
Right.
So You Think You Can Dance, 1 million people are watching, and they have your kids on Twitter and everything.
Exactly.
And like little, if I had a little girl, I'd worry about her is she being sexualized too soon? Like those concerns would come into my head.
I get that.
Yeah.
But if my kid's like a die-hard dancer and it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity,
Right.
then it becomes complicated.
But I also think that to a certain extent it comes down to the kind of parents the kid has and the kind of kid that those parents have raised. Because, on the one hand, you get the kid who was Anakin in The Phantom Menace, and he's out crashing his car, and Dustin Diamond from Screech, Screech from Saved by the Bell, getting into knife fights on Christmas. But at the same time, you have Frankie Muniz from Malcolm in the Middle and
Great
stuff.
kid.
Great kid, was retired by the age of 19. It was like, he did his bit, it still had Hollywood on
We just
on a
watched
string.
that movie with Lindsay Lohan.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah, another
fantastic.
example.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lindsay
the
Lohan.
Parent Trap, the remake of the Parent Trap.
Yep, classic.
But
absolute
anyway-
classic.
Anyway, for those of you who want to know, what we're talking about is the premiere of So You Think You Can Dance: The Next Generation.
We've gone off topic here.
that
It's an
will-
all Frankie Muniz.
That will
video.
debut. That will debut on Memorial Day on Fox. So make sure you check that out.
I've always wanted to see Malcolm in the Middle with
Now-
Walter White as the actual dad.
Yep. That would. Oh man.
When
that
we
would be
come
cool.
back, we're gonna give a little preview of what's to come next for the King's Castle. So stay right there.
That was a good say.
That
I
was
enjoyed
good.
That was good. James, that question about would you let your kid do it? That's a good question.
That was.